Oh, God. Whenever I, like, look in the dark, I see that puppet up close like that. It is terrifying. Generic Control into that goes. We're here back with another Five Nights at Freddy game theory video. Today I'm doing the answer was right in the front of us, which I'm not really sure what that means. Is it going to be like the child's going to be inside? Because I know, like, is it security breach that they like put the child inside? I have no idea. I've reacted to like SMG4 video where they talked about if Mario was in security breach, and I also did a song by Stupendium that had the security breach. I literally, this is the first video I'm recording my new Elgato. I had the HD60, not the HD60S, the HD60. I got in like 2016 or whatever, and it kept on like screwing up in the middle of videos. This is the fourth video I'm recording today. I recorded 3 videos before this, and it screwed up in the recording 4 times in those 3 videos. So I went out and spent $257 on these, and I also just had to spend $2,000 fixing my car because somebody put a chair in the road. So if you could become a patron, I would really appreciate it. I've also spent the last 3 hours, Jesus Christ, 3 hours just trying to make sure the Elgato is set up and working and everything, and it's already been a very long day. I didn't have power for 24 hours yesterday because of a hurricane. It's been rough, okay? Thank you for being here. I hope you had a wonderful day. You check out last week's video. I'll leave it right up there. Also going to be linked down below in the description. Also going to be a playlist on my channel with all of my other Five Nights at Freddy game theory videos going in chronological order if you want to check that out. Also, I'll be streaming at 5 p.m. today over on Twitch for my Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke. I just got Giratina at the end of last week's stream. So, big exciting things are happening. Getting close to seeing it. Definitely stop by. But let's go ahead and jump into FNAF. The answer was right in front of us. Also, read every single comment, leave them down below. Oh, God. Hopefully the new Elgato system. We don't have any more flickering. We don't have any more crash in the middle of videos. It was expensive.
I am Springtrap.
I am Springtrap. I am not Springtrap. The twisted ones? Okay, now that is a sick book cover.
Shaking back and forth on unsteady feet.
A horde of balloon boys? I start kicking
as they wobbled forward with staring eyes. Not again! I hate these things.
I do hate
Jessica
these
cried.
things.
You and me both, sister. You and me both.
We all
up
do.
Top. Can I five me up top because you're a fictional character? Hello, internet. Welcome to
Fair enough.
Game Theory.
Get the microphone. Five Nights at Freddy 6 was canceled? Wait, was it?
6 is
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Looks like I had more
2017.
power than you, Scotty C. Let's be honest though, it's gonna be more delayed than canceled, really. And there's still
really?
the movie, the
but
merch,
it was a
a second
clickbait.
book just released, a third book coming soon, and a 4th one on the way.
Yeah,
so
there's
just
more
like the
books than
animatronics,
games.
The series
I've also
itself
only
keeps
ever played the
getting
first
reborn
game.
in new forms with increasingly absurd names. Withered Freddy, Nightmare Chica, Not So Fun Time Franchise.
Oh,
Speaking
yikes.
of ridiculous
What is,
new names
why
for
is
the
he
same
just
old cast of
roasting
animals,
them?
let's talk about the latest addition to the roster, the Twisted
Also, if I were to play Five Nights at Freddy, I would just skip the
Stars with
second one.
new
I
FNAF
just jump
book
straight
that
into
came out
3.
at the end of June. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this book was definitely a step up from the first. It had 200 less pages. Oh,
Tired theorist.
Oh, you need a calendar, man! I mean, don't take that as too high of a compliment. In 200 pages, you still had a college robotics major going to the scene of a murder and then touching the victim, getting blood all
that
up
makes
on
a
her
lot of
hands,
sense.
and no one on the police force even batting an eye over the blatant crime scene tampering that was happening. Then there's the fact that
why
in
were
the
they even
book,
allowed
multiple
there?
balloon boys, including BB, JJ, and whatever other ridiculous
JJ
combination of letters you
Cocomelon?
can come up with, are canon too. But you know what? I still
Shout out
gotta
to
appreciate
PewDiePie's
lines like page
Cocomelon
183.
diss.
You never know when a corpse may wander out of the shadows wearing a rabbit suit. Even the books have become self-aware of their own absurdity at this point.
Yeah, they're
Now, at this point, Scott has made
insane.
clear that the books and the games are separate canons. And while that may be
are
true,
they?
both are still shambling their way out of Scott's mind brain. We all know that Scott leaves plenty of holes in his stories, details, or events that are left
and now it's an
purposefully
off-white
vague
shoebox.
so that we can theorize to fill in those gaps. But what's interesting is that he leaves different holes in each series. And by looking at the 2 series in tandem, those holes start to fill themselves in with a
because he wants you to read the books, obviously.
sister location.
It's smart.
No, just no. Anyway, reading Twisted Ones was like
that
reading
is
the
a
crib notes
sick
for Sister
book cover,
Location,
though.
because a lot, and I mean
Like,
a
that
lot
looks
of
awesome.
that game's weirdness became more and more clear as I turned more and more pages. So FNAF 6 may be dead, but we're gonna go back to beat the dead horse animatronic that is Sister Location.
There's no horses.
Horsey, the dead horse animatronic, and we just beat it every time we do an episode about one of these games. Great. Dead horse animatronic,
video
Horsey,
got
one final
17
time,
million
because
views.
Thanks to the Twisted Ones, we
Say it
have
was worth
all the
doing.
information we need to help that game make just a little bit more sense. First, how do we know that this book is
Also, I'll be
anywhere
streaming
close
at 5
related
p.m.
to
over
Sister
on Twitch
Location?
with my
Well, it's
Pokemon
easy.
Platinum
The answer's in
Nuzlocke.
the title,
I just
the
got
Twisted
Giratina.
Ones. The recurring threat in the book are these so-called twisted animatronics.
Twisted?
But even though we're supposed to think that this is a new breed of killer robot, they're not. Not at all, in fact. We've seen them
not at
before
all?
in Sister Location. Check out this description and let me know if it sounds familiar. Page 90. The creature.
90
had no
pages?
fur, and its
Wow,
face
I
was
can't even read
smooth.
one.
It had a short muzzle and oval ears sticking out from the sides of its head. It had the general appearance of an animal's head, though much larger than the animatronic animals from
What, is there a
Freddy's.
bigger
Running down
Freddy?
The center of its face was a long, straight split, exposing wires and a line of metal frame. A thick plastic material was stuck to the face in large patches. So the twisted animatronics have a plastic-like covering and a face that splits open.
Yeah,
It
well,
certainly
we've
sounds
seen
like
that.
the aesthetic of the Funtime animatronics.
I
but it
guess.
doesn't stop
Why
there.
make-
These
why
guys
that
were built
design,
to be
though?
big because their mission is to
Like, why can their
capture
face open up
children,
like that?
Like Pokeballs out for revenge.
Like
Page
the
140.
Pokeballs?
Freddy's face
140,
slid across the
that's
bed
a
like
lot.
python. His head lost its shape as it folded outward, taking hold of her feet and beginning to swallow. Moving slowly upward as she fought not to scream or fight. His cheeks and chin dislocating further. It no
like a
longer
snake.
resembled a living thing. Before she could struggle further, her arms were
That is
pinned to her
terrifying.
side, trapped inside the thing. Only her head remained free.
What do you
She
mean?
gasped for a last breath,
I mean,
then was violently scooped up, consumed by the creature. She done got
Consumed.
scooped. Then, a few pages later, she was inside a cavity made for a human being, but the soup
How
was moving
big
with
can the
complete
cavity
autonomy.
be?
In case you've forgotten, this is exactly what we see in
Yeah.
Sister Location's hidden animatronic blueprints. Oversized
You
robots
just see a
with special
child on the
containment
inside.
features to lure in and trap small children. Even the description for how people get scooped
So
into
does
the
it
animatronics
harvest
is reminiscent
children
of Sister
to
Location's
put their
horrific
souls
ice
in the
cream
things?
minigame
I don't
with
know.
Baby. Page 92. The animatronic's arms
How do you
lifted
explain
and
the
its
missing
chest
children?
opened like an iron gate. Its metal pieces slid out of place to reveal a dark, gaping pit where sharp spikes and spring locks were just barely
What?
visible. It was a trap, waiting to be triggered.
I haven't
She
seen
beat
Star
against
Trek.
its bed to
Okay,
damage
don't hate
its
me. I
arm.
know
The
that's
other
Star
arm
Wars.
steadily forced her
Jesus.
closer to the chest cavity. So why does any
Oh,
of this
man.
and the Twisted
Oh.
Ones as a whole book matter
Somebody
in
got a heart
context
attack
of the
there.
FNAF games?
Promise.
Well, in the opening sequence of Sister Location, we hear that the Funtime animatronics were built by William Afton.
I think that's
With
Star
all
Wars,
due
actually.
respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
A guy who, up to that point in the series, had only been named in the first book, Silver Eyes.
Yeah.
By the end of the book, we learn that William is Purple
Rudy?
Guy, the killer who kidnaps kids
be
while wearing a
Rose?
golden Bonnie suit. But Silver Eyes also introduced us to other important characters for the FNAF series as a whole,
It's very
including
spooky.
Henry. No less
Also, there's gonna be a Skelly Boy down
partner
here. He'll
and
be in
the
every
more
video this
creative
month.
half of the company, the one who actually created the animatronics. So after reading Silver Eyes, we were left with William, the business
Also, if you
guy
use
who
Kira
doesn't create
Breed
robots
Risley,
but does kill
who is that?
children, and Henry, the creator who does create robots but doesn't
the
kill
author he
children.
works with?
Got all that? Good. Now, in my FNAF 5 Decoded video, I drew parallels
I react
between
to it.
Henry and a mysterious figure that we saw during a secret
Got
cutscene
killed
of
by
FNAF
Baby.
World, both of whom create animatronics and commit suicide. Long story short, in the game, he ends his own life because he created Baby, a robot that he's ashamed of. In the
I don't
book,
like it.
why Henry kills himself is still a big part of the mystery. Now, if you want more
Grief?
information about the parallels
Maybe he's
between
gonna be
these two
captured?
characters, click the eye icon in the upper right-hand corner of the screen because I
Yeah.
go more in-depth
I'm
there.
on
But
Xbox,
after
I don't
that
work.
video, it seemed like a lock. We finally had some solid leads as to who these key players in the games were, and the clues were coming from Silver Eyes. But
Well,
then that
I mean,
opening cinematic from
Xbox
Sister
controller,
Location
Xbox
played the
controller.
first time we all booted up the game. Afton acknowledged that he was the one who created the new robots. And everyone, including myself, was like, well, there went that theory. Afton was
Yeah.
supposed to be the business guy, not the creator. So if
And
he's
he
the one
was.
who builds animatronics in the game, then Henry must not exist in this universe. Scott had pulled the wool over my eyes.
so
or
that's
he's
like a
clicked on huge
complete
parts of
red
the story to
herring?
keep me off the scent
Okay.
once again. Except not.
Clever.
The theory was right the first time. The Twisted Ones book confirms that both Henry and William Afton create animatronics, with the originals being built by Henry and the Twisted Funtime style animatronics being
So the
Afton's.
ones that
On
are
page
for
92
capturing-
of the Twisted Ones, we see the main character Charlie, daughter of Henry, talking about one
That's
of these
not
new
moist critical.
animatronics. Well, the hardware, the joints, it's older technology.
Is
Maybe
that
he
why
made
they're
them
like
earlier?
designed in the
I don't
first game
know.
to like
I
put them
recognize
inside
some
of
this as my
suits?
dad's work, but then a lot of it's foreign to me. Someone else may have had a hand in it. I'm not sure if my dad made it or not, but I have a feeling he's the one who buried it.
Buried
oh yeah,
it.
by the way, in the book, the twisted animatronics bury themselves during the day and come out at night to nab people. Animatronic zombies. why not? It is probably
Also,
one of the things
vampires?
that makes more sense in the book, honestly. Anyway, it's continually hinted at throughout the
Dude,
book that these animatronics weren't built by Henry.
What
My
level
father
of
wouldn't
seriousness does he take
always
these
put
books?
stops so that the joints couldn't do things humans can't do. Then again, on page 113, the bear was frightening, misshapen, an imitation of Freddy created by someone else. It was a strange variation into which her father had never breathed life, but William Afton, Dave, did. And then finally, William Dave, maybe Purple Guy Springtrap Afton, confirms it on page 1.
I don't think he's Purple Guy. Is he Purple Guy?
My robots would be as poorly designed as your father's.
So there you go. The original theory still stands. Henry and William can both be active players in the game universe because both build animatronics. And if you need even more evidence, then think about it this way. At the end of FNAF World, Henry admits that he created Baby, and then he kills himself, ashamed of his creation. At the beginning of Sister Location, we see that Afton is still alive, he's claiming creation rights, and he's obviously proud of his new robots. Then, at the end of the game, his son Michael Afton says that he's going to come find his father.
Father, it's me, Michael. I'm going to come find you.
Thus, William is still alive, Henry is dead, but
so did William use Henry?
Games. And that's an important detail
and then
to solidify
Henry realized what he created
because
had been William wanted that.
The release of Sister Location. One of the weirdest
Get that thing in the
details
background
from that
out of
game
there.
was hidden in Funtime Freddy's room, where a map of FNAF 4's house was above and directly connected to the map of the Sister Location facility.
That's
it is
nuts.
also something that was hinted at throughout the Silver Eyes novel. Again, something that I covered in a previous theory, linked via those iCards in the upper right-hand corner. But
I'm pretty sure he also has a playlist.
Not only confirms this underground bunker for Sister
Taylor made this
Location
one.
exists, it also confirms whose house it's built under. Henry's. In the novel, we see the twisted animatronics capture the main character Charlie, again, Henry's daughter, and drop her off in some remixed version of the FNAF 2 Pizzeria. I say remixed because, like a lot of this book, it's a weird hybridization of the things that happen in the games and other stuff. It's got the carousel and balloon boys from the FNAF 2 location, but then there's a cave and a waterfall for some reason. Because why not? FNAF 7, Under the Sea! Earlier in the book, Charlie and her boyfriend
that's the
John,
Little Mermaid.
who admittedly
I've
has
never
to be
seen.
the most patient
Jon
and loving
Snow.
boyfriend in the history
I know that one.
of the universe. Like, Charlie shows him no sense of affection, and he is there just like a sad puppy dog. It is tragic. Anyway, those two go to visit Charlie's childhood home.
Who knows less, me or Jon Snow?
And what they find is that the storm has broken down a wall to reveal a new room. A secret room, hidden in their house that Charlie had never known about.
Just a regular house in
That's not
Detroit?
even part of the house. I've never seen this room before. The walls were made of dark concrete, and the room was small and windowless. A box jammed into the house and sealed away beneath the rooms. Whatever's out there killing people came from there. When the storm broke the wall, a section of the house
Storm?
was
I
sealed
just
until
went
the
through a
storm
hurricane.
broke
I
through.
drove in that
What's
hurricane.
really
I didn't
important
have
here
power
is
for a
what's
day.
revealed when Charlie and the gang escape from that underground pizzeria I mentioned. On page 194, we're out!
An
We're
underground
okay.
pizzeria.
See where we are? She whispered. Slowly, she walked the length of the room, gesturing to the 4 enormous pits in the floor, one of which contained a headless, half-buried robot. John, this is my dad's house. It's the room we found. They escaped upward out of the underground pizzeria and wound up in Henry's
So did they
house.
make like
the pieces start to fit together. Henry in the book
like a
buries
test
and tries
area
to seal
pizzeria
off the
underground?
twisted animatronics, and then commits suicide out of guilt for helping William to build these things in the first place, just like we see him do in FNAF World. And just like we see the underground bunker underneath a
So Henry's not the bad guy, William is.
Sister Location. And I'm just getting started. Because while all this other information is certainly interesting, Twisted Ones exposed a detail from Sister Location so tiny and so minute that we all overlooked it in our excitement over decoding underground storage facilities and tracking animatronic eye color. And yet, much like the infamous Chica Beat clue from FNAF 2 and 4, this small detail is so monumentally earth-shattering to the franchise as we know it. That I can't not talk about it here. On Sister Location's Night 3, Michael Afton's big task is to remove a power module from Funtime Freddy. After following the narrator's instructions on which buttons to press and what order to press them in, Freddy's chest pops open and the power module reveals itself. And
but there's
little blinking black dot, oddly unconnected
Is that a kill switch?
to literally anything else in the animatronic.
Is that a
and
control
in a pretty
switch?
unusual place, just kind of stuck on, slightly off to the side. I remember
but
thinking
why?
at the time that this was an odd design choice for something that was supposedly powering the whole animatronic, but meh, how would I know? No one, and I mean no one, called this thing out, considering Night 3 in general was just kind of forgettable, overshadowed by the misery that was the Springlock challenge on Night 4 and the fascinating map Easter eggs hidden on Night 2. But of course, this is FNAF. And no detail is too small in this.
I like how he
series.
does
And
one
Twisted
Photoshop and
Ones
putting his
blew
body on
the
his
lid
face
off
on a
this
body
disc's
and just
true
reuses
purpose.
it.
Its
I love
little
that.
mystery being so
Does it one time, it's very
important that
efficient.
the reason they're called the Twisted Ones in the first place. Stick with me now, because I'm
that
not
make them
making any
evil?
of this up. That little device from Sister Location is actually a mind control disc. Pause for all the stunned gasps. and
Why would
requisite eye
you
rolls.
put
I
it
don't
there
blame
though?
Either of those reactions. Let me explain. Throughout the book, anytime the twisted
Why would you put
animatronics
either-
show up, people
why would you put
start
it there?
to feel weird side effects.
Is that like
Page
the heart of
91
the
and 92.
brain?
As her
I don't know.
hand touched the creature, a wave of nausea hit her, but it lasted only a split second. Something else about it
Why are you shaking?
transformed
Stop.
at the same time. Its artificial skin took on a luminescence, and its
Hey,
movements were fluid
blue?
and sure. Its casing suddenly appeared to have skin and fur, though they were blurry, flickering like a trick of the light. Now, after
Huh?
destroying one of these twisted animatronics, Charlie and Boy Toy John discover a weird
How did they
object
destroy it? Please,
embedded in
I
the
would love to
machine.
hear about
Well,
that.
It was a flat disc, about the size of a $50 coin. She held it up to her ear.
Yeah?
Wow, that's really high-pitched. I can barely hear it. The sound
Oh.
is why you feel sick. It emits
Oh?
some kind of signal. It changes what those things look like. It changes our perception of what they look like, Charlie corrected. Freddy's image
Wait, so
flickered
does
like
it
static
also
on a television
affect-
screen.
does it affect
the color
humans,
faded
or
from his
does-
fur, then everything that made him Freddy winked out, leaving only a smooth plastic figure in his place. It looked like the rest of the animals in the room, a blank mannequin stripped of its characteristics.
I don't
These
understand
aren't
how
made
that
out
works.
of
Does that make
fur
any
and
sense?
fabric. They're made by us, by twisting our minds. You shot the chip, you killed the illusion. Twisting our minds, you say. Roll credits!
What? He's out. Bruce Willis.
Now, for
Benedict
as
Cumberbatch,
ridiculous
Samuel
as a small
Jackson,
disc that emits
just had,
sounds
you
that
know,
gets
everyone in
your brain
that.
to change the way it perceives the world around you sounds, it's actually kind of based in scientific fact. The brain
so it
is
is?
constantly having to process tons of information.
Yeah,
so
like
it
when
is
you're reacting to a
always
video.
looking for shortcuts. For instance, if I show you this text, you're probably going to be able to read it really quickly,
Yeah.
right? It's because the brain isn't
yeah.
reading text by individual letters, but rather by the context of the other words around it, the way
Yeah.
it expects the
And
sentence to go, and making guesses
and the
off
first
the most
word. If you get the
frequent
first word and the
short
last,
words that
or
it
the
sees
first
on a
letter and the
day-to-day
last
basis.
letter.
The same is generally true in visual perception. Without going into detail here, it's how
What?
optical illusions work, and there's been plenty of research on how the brain fills in visual gaps that it experiences. So the idea that a disc is shooting out sounds that distract you and thus cause your perception of reality to change to stuff that you're actually more familiar with isn't as far-fetched as it might seem. At least
So,
not as
does
far-fetched
it-
as robots
everybody
haunted
see
by
the
dead
same
children
thing?
getting into an all-out rumble against other animatronics built to vor unsuspecting victims, which is literally
Like-
a thing that happens in the climax of this book.
So
Not
does
to
everybody see
spoil
the
it or
same thing?
anything.
Does everybody's
And of
brain
course,
react the
it
same
probably
way?
goes without saying, but these little mind-controlled discs were created by none other than dear old dad, William Afton, page 99. There was writing along one edge. She had to bring the piece of plastic close to her face to make the letters out. They were tiny and written in an old-fashioned flowing script. They read Afton Robotics,
LLC.
Charlie dropped the
Limited
disc
liability
immediately. Afton?
corporation,
William
or
Afton.
company.
That's my
One of the
father's
two.
old
I'm
partner.
pretty sure it's corporations.
That's Dave's real name, John finished. I thought he was just a business partner for Freddy's, she said slowly. I guess he did a bit more than that. So why
A little
and
bit.
how does this matter in the context of the
Did
game?
he use Henry as a
I
scapegoat,
actually
maybe?
think it has the potential to explain a lot. First, from the book. So the animatronics aren't changing shape, we're just being distracted. What's the purpose of that, though? To earn our trust, to look more friendly, to look more real, to lure kids closer.
They don't look
And that's
friendly.
something we
Those look
definitely
friendly.
see at play
That
throughout
does not
Sister
look
Location.
friendly.
It was even in the hidden animatronic blueprints that we discovered. Weird technology put in place to lure and trap
7-2,
kids.
go play
Now,
for the
this is
Lakers.
speculation, but remember Sister Location's secret control room that allowed us to observe the crying child's bedroom, as well as other key locations from FNAF 4? On the map, they were labeled as observation rooms.
Yeah,
Could that
what are
be
they
what
observe-
William was observing? The effects of his mind-twisting discs
On his own
children.
kids?
Could FNAF 4 not have been a dream, a
hi.
nightmare, a hospital hallucination, whatever, but rather the twisted dreams generated by these distraction discs? But even beyond that, I think these discs explain
they
a
don't
topic
interfere
that
with
I have
each other?
actively avoided throughout all my theories on this series.
What?
The Phantom animatronics from FNAF 3.
What do you mean the
Remember
Phantom?
Way back in FNAF 3 when this was supposed to be the final boss battle, there was
What do you
only
mean the final
one
boss
real
battle?
animatronic out to get you. Springtrap.
Hi! I don't like the way it
All the other
moves.
hallucinations in a building that had a high-pitched whining noise the whole time.
Wait, oh, yeah, that would get
And
annoying.
especially when it came to the puppet attacking you.
Hi. Oh,
Weird
God.
these hallucinations
Whenever
are happening
I,
around
like,
the time when there's
look in the
high-pitched
dark,
noise
I see
around,
that puppet
like
up
these
close
discs
like that.
emanate. And
It
notice
is
that the ventilation in the
terrifying.
game would only tend to drop after you had been scared, not before. It's as though these hallucinations aren't coming from a lack of oxygen, like Phone Dude says, but rather from some other source. A disc.
they're all
A disc
hallucinations.
specifically designed to manipulate your mind and bring forward all the horrific memories that you have buried in it. And
Oh, cool.
regardless of whether you think
Bringing up
Springtrap
trauma.
is Michael
Cool.
Afton or William Afton,
That's not
which
a
is
dick
honestly
move or
theme for
anything.
a whole nother day. One thing you can't deny is that these discs, Springtrap and the Afton family are all connected, meaning that their use in a game where you're coming into direct contact
This changed
with
the
a
theories
giant golden bunny
incredibly.
definitely makes a whole lot of sense. Could they also be the explanation for the other random Easter eggs we've seen throughout the series?
Like
the
what?
Lolbit mask and the Mini Rena's random appearances in the control room of Sister Location. The
No
Phantom
idea.
Freddy and Phantom Bonnie from FNAF 2. I mean, the FNAF 2 location does make an appearance of sorts in the book, with the discs hidden in the lights of the building. Maybe
wait,
even
what?
the hallucinations of It's Me way back in FNAF 1. The ramification of discs like this changes everything, and we physically
Yeah,
see
it changes
them present in
everything,
Sister
and I
Location.
just
So
don't-
even if Scott
I
is
find
part
a
of the
hard time
franchise, that doesn't mean
believing,
it has to
like,
end
that's
without
actually
answers
the
that
answer,
we've all been
you know?
waiting for. You know what? I'm here for you to try and put together this mess of a puzzle as a community of theorists. There's still plenty more to speculate about as the Twisted Ones
don't
opens the
know.
door to even more interesting and even more absurd
I feel like that
ways
might be
of
just a book
maiming
thing,
and
maybe. I
murdering
don't know.
children
I
with
don't-
Chuck E. Cheese style robotics. And I haven't even gotten to how I think the main character of the
How do
book
y'all see
series
Chuck E.
is
Cheese
probably
now?
a
Have you been the
robot.
one
But
since,
again,
you know,
those are
watching
all
his videos
theories
and
for
playing
other
FNAF?
days. In the meantime, remember that's
It's just a theory. Baby
A
Driver?
gay
Great movie. Wait,
theory.
that had
Thanks
baby in it.
for
I would not
watching.
like that
You know,
movie if
at
that
this
had
point,
baby.
FNAF is 3 years old. 3 years.
This video
That
is
means most of you
5
younger
years
fans
old.
of the series are probably hitting that special time in your life where hair starts to appear in places that it never used to before. Like in between your eyebrows, fusing them together to form the much dreaded unibrow.
I have
My
a
advice
barber
is
for that.
For your own good, don't be like me. Don't make the mistake and think that a unibrow is okay. Unipat was a dark
Wait, he
time
had
in
a
my life that I
unibrow?
choose to forget. No, learn from my mistakes and do the
Why?
right thing. Get to shaving, my friends. Dealing with awkward body hair sucks, so why make the shaving process suck too? Treat yourself to the club. Dollar
Yeah,
Shave
that's
Club,
one thing
literally
about
the
having a
best,
suit. Like, if you
easiest,
ever wear the
and
suit, you
cheapest
have to
shave
be
you
clean
will
shaven. Like, you
ever
have to
Why is it
be.
the best? Because their executive
Like, what's the point of wearing a
razor
suit if your hair is a
rocks,
mess?
metal and firm, standing head and shoulders above the flimsy plastic store razors that cost you even more.
Yeah, I know
Why
this
is
is
it
that,
easy?
and yes, I'm
Because
watching it, and yes,
screw
you're
having to
watching
put
it
on
with me,
pants and go
but
out in
I can react to
public,
paint
stay
drying.
hidden away from the world while new
Is that
razor
corduroy
heads and shaved
pants?
butter get
Absolutely
delivered right
not.
to your door. No human interaction necessary, which is
That
great
idea I
for all
like.
you introverts watching right now. And why is it the cheapest? Because for a limited time, new members get their first month of the Executive Razor with a tube of the Dr. Carver's shave butter for only $5. And
see,
with free shipping. After
that's
that,
not an
razors
issue I
are just a
have.
few bucks a month.
I haven't
That
been clean
is,
shaven since
calculating it now with
September
my math brain,
2013.
a $15
I've had a beard
value only
for that
available
long.
to you theorists right now exclusively at dollarshaveclub.com.
They paid him a
/MatPat.
bag for
That's
this.
dollarshaveclub.com.
Thing is, out of all the people that watch this video,
in your first month box, you get the awesome
I'd
lady
say
handle, a full cassette of 4
out of
executive
17 million
cartridges, and a
views,
tube of shave butter. So say goodbye to Unipat and say hello to
I'd
social
say-
acceptance and silky smoothness.
I'd say less
Again,
than
learn from my mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. Life
2,000, maybe
will
1,000?
never be the
Between
same.
1,000 and
If you'll
2,000
excuse me, I have
people
a
use that code.
ridiculous math question in store for next week's episode that I need to go
Math?
solve. I will see you then.
so he's coming out with another one next week. Well, there'll be another one for me next week. Patrons are get a day early, which would be super helpful. So far, I think no flickering happened. The video quality should be better because I'm now using a 4K 60 Pro, so that's awesome. That was expensive. So if you could go on Patreon, I would greatly appreciate it. Hopefully editing and everything goes really fine. Didn't have any issues. That is fantastic. I find out I have a hard time believing that it's the mind control thing. Like, that just completely tears away, like, everything else, you know? Like, I don't know. I find a hard time believing that's it. Like, I feel like that might just be something that's in the book. Like, mind control, that's a box I'm not sure he wants to really open. But, this is an interesting video. Please let me know if you enjoyed it. Also, don't spoil anything, because what's the point in spoiling that? It might be completely wrong, but we're going on this journey, and we have a lot of videos to go. So, Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Like I said, I'll be streaming at 5 p.m. over on Twitch, my Pokemon Platinum Nuzlocke. And we're getting close to it. Just got guillotined. It is a fun time. I named it Dormammu, because Dormammu, I've come to bargain. But I love you all. Take care. And until the next video, kitty music.
We were playing